الحمد لله رب العالمين صلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله ثم ما بعد فإن خير كلام الله تبارك وتعالى وخير هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار وبعد. This is the third hadith of the 40 hadith of Imam al-Nawawi rahimahullah ta'ala, the hadith of Abi Abdurrahman Abdullah ibn Umar radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. قال الإمام النووي رحمه الله تعالى عن عبد الله بن عمر رضي الله تعالى عنه قال سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وسلم يقول بني الإسلام على 5 وفي بعض الروايات على 5 بالفتحة شهادتي أن لا إله إلا الله وأن محمدا رسول الله وإقام الصلاة وإيتاء الزكاة وحج البيت وصوم رمضان. رواه البخاري ومسلم ولفظ له البخاري رحمه الله تعالى. The hadith is on the authority of Abi Abdurrahman Abdullah ibn Umar radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. Ibn Umar, he is one of the ulama and the scholars of hadith and the scholars of fiqh from the Sahaba. He is not your normal companion, radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. Rather, he's from the ha'immati ahl al-hadith wal fiqh. He's from the scholars, the imams of hadith and fiqh from the companions. His nickname is Abi Abdurrahman, and he is the same companion in the narration of the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ and the narration in Sahih Muslim concerning the hadith of Jibril and tu'minu bil qadri khairihi wa sharrihi, where the Prophet was told by Jibril to inform him about the divine decree. He said that you believe in it, the good and the bad of it. The narration of Sahih Muslim, Ibn Umar is in the chain, and the story is about the people that came, Yahya ibn Ya'mar and Hamad ibn Abdurrahman, the two people that came from Basra, that said there are some people back home, they disdain the issue of qadr, and they themselves have decided there's no such thing. So this is Abi Abdurrahman Abdullah ibn Umar radiyallahu ta'ala. The hadith Bunya al-Islam ala 5. The ulama, they mentioned Bunya ala 5. And that is that Islam has 5 things that it is constructed upon. يقولون بني على 5 أي 5 يعني قواعد. There's 5 main things that without it there's no Islam to be in existence. You have to have the Shahada, then after that the Salah, then the Zakat, and the Sawm and Hajj. So that's why the scholars say the meaning of Bunya al-Khamsa, yani, they said that means that وَلَا يَقُومُ الْإِسْلَامِ إِلَّا بِهَذِهِ خَمْسَةٍ, that Islam cannot stand except by and with these 5 foundations. If you take them away, you have no Islam, in other words. So thus they say these 5 principles, وَبِهَا بُنْيَا وَبِهَا يَقُومُ. Now, وَبِهَا بُنْيَا, from them the religion is established, وَبِهَا يَقُومُ, and with them is how you establish the deen. And this
notifications for new
position. This is why many of the scholars take the position Tariqul Salat Kafir, that if you abandon prayer, you leave the Salah, you leave Islam. Why? Because the Prophet clearly said Bunya Islam ala khamsa. These are from the pillars of Islam. And that's why Barakallahu Fikum, the issue of zakat, Abu Bakr Siddiq waged war against those people who did not pay the zakat. And in the beginning, Umar ibn al-Khattabi, Umar al-Faruq, he bade him and said, how can you fight against those that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that if they obey you, O Messenger, and take the Shahada, then Allah said that those people, Asamu minni, Prophet said that Allah has informed them, if they take Shahada, they are protected from me. Meaning you cannot fight with them. Amwalahum wa dimahum, their wealth as well as their blood is sacred if they accept the Shahada. إلا بحقهم يعني ماذا على الله, except that which Allah has gave them as an obligation they have to hold to. So Abu Bakr, he said that this is in line with the issue of the wealth, as the wealth, the right of it belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not the right of any one man. Rather, the wealthy has a right, and that right is the right of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you have to give that wealth is due. Therefore, Umar, he said, Allah bears witness, the haqq is with Abu Bakr Siddiq. The reason he took that position again is because the term Bunya al-Islam al-Khams. And then if you reject to give the wealth as Allah has commanded you, then this is rejecting a portion of the Quran. And we know that just as the great scholar Tahawi in his Aqidatu Mada al-Tahawi, Imam al-Tahawi mentioned in his Aqidah, which is explained by the great Hanafi scholar Ibn Abi Is, in the 45th principle and point of that book. It said, Man radda shay'an min al-Qur'ani faqad kafar. Whosoever rejects anything from the book of Allah, the Quran, he is disbelieved. So therefore, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands you to give zakat. And Salah mentions from the 5 pillars of Islam, then you deny that. You deny the ayah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Likewise, the soul, kadhalik. Some have mentioned that if you don't fast, with a valid excuse, then you are denying the obligation of fasting and the Hajj and so forth. So all of these inclusive in Bunya Islam al-Khamsa, Islam is built and based upon 5 now. Sometimes it's spelled Bunya Islam al-Khams with the sukoon on the last level. Sometimes it's Bunya Islam al-Khamsa with fatha. Both of them okay to say Khams or Khams. And the scholars they say here, خصل تبارك وتعالى على لسان النبي الكريم الخمسة دون يعني jihad. Said, and also Allah has told the Prophet to describe these 5 parts of the religion, pillars of the religion, without mentioning jihad, because jihad for kifaya. Now, for kifaya min heen ila heen. The jihad becomes an obligation, necessity, and a thing of applicability from time to time, place to place. And it's an obligation on some of the people without everyone having to do it. As for these other obligations, salat, Sawm, give us zakat, including the Hajj, along with the first and the greatest of the Shahada, it's an independent thing upon every Muslim. Now, independent thing upon every Muslim. Now, therefore, the scholars, when they talk about this issue, said that the issue of jihad cannot be mentioned. And some people like to mention jihad as a pillar of the religion. Allah musta'an. But the pillars are something that always exists. Shahada always exists. Salat always exists. Zakat always exists. Sawm always exists. Hajj always exists. أما جهاد يعني قد يكون يعني حكم يوم ويعني تسقط يعني بعد بكرة. نعم. Jihad is something that can be applicable, something that is valid for a person to indulge in today. But it may be something that the circumstance changes tomorrow or the day after tomorrow that you hold up. There's no fight. So that's why the likes of jihad was not mentioned in the 5 pillars to make it 6, because this the students already did in a good way. Now, the ulama also mentioned that in some riwayah, some narrations, hadith taqdeem, al-hajj al-sawm. Taqdeem, mada hajj al-sawm. Like in this narration, and he brought hajj first, then brought fasting second. He brought hajj first, and then brought fasting lastly, secondary. This does not mean the order has been changed, but it only means that Ibn Umar, as the rest of the companions were diligent in this, want to only mention what the Prophet said. We heard from the Prophet. So as he was mentioning this hadith, and he said, وَالْحَجْ وَالصَّوْمَ رَمَضَانَ وَالشَّهْرُ مَاذَا وَالصَّوْمَ رَمَضَانَ وَكَذَلِكَ مَاذَا وَالْحَجْ الْبَيْتِ. In the one hadith, he mentioned the month of Ramadan and Hajj. In this narration, he mentioned Hajj al-Bayt was Sawm Ramadan. So they're switched. Someone thought he was making a mistake. They said the Prophet ﷺ mentioned Sawm, fasting, then Hajj lastly. Ibn Umar, he said, I am mentioning that which I heard the Prophet say. So this is a proof that Islam has been constructed upon 5, and those 5 we should pay great importance to them. Wallahu musta'an. هذا وصلى الله وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا والحمد لله رب العالمين. بارك الله فيك. Any questions? People have a almost done habit of making questions after I log off, and then they want to know why the question was not answered. They have opportunity now. Any questions?
off.
Recording. Recording. Nakaraman. Recording. Recording.